This video analyzes the tactical battle behind two elite women's 200-meter races. Curve execution, speed endurance, and mental control. We break down what truly decided victory.
On this track, but dates back to 2012. She'll start at lane 4. So she'll start in lane 4. The Olympic bronze medalist is here as well. Gabby Thomas, who will be outside her in lane 6. The question is, guys, is this her last Prefontaine Classic? She's been coming here for a very long time. So here's Desiree Bryant, the 2019 U.S. champion at 200 meters.
And this is Brittany Brown, World Championship silver medalist in 2019, and 11-time All-American while at the University of Iowa.
Jenna Prandini will get a big hand as a former Oregon Duck. She made the Olympic team at both 100 and 200. And got a silver as part of the women's 4x1 for Team USA. Didn't make the final in the 200. Gabby Thomas, the Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo. She was the Olympic trials winner here. Her personal best is on this track as well.
And this is Dina Asher-Smith. Had a tough Olympics, had a big showing in 2019 where she won gold in this event. Didn't make it to the finals of the 100, pulled out of the 200 and won a medal on the 4x1. And don't think for a second that this crowd doesn't appreciate how many times they've gotten to see Allison, and they know that she's winding down her career. We've already seen her last Olympic appearance. This is Kambundji of Switzerland, won bronze in the 200 in 2019. Had a good showing in Tokyo, but was left off the podium in both individual events.
Lena Irby left Tokyo with 2 medals, gold in the 4x4 with Team USA, and a bronze in the mixed 4x400 meters. She ran the prelims in both of those events. So I like Gabby Thomas here in 6. Dina Asher-Smith in lane 7, the world champion, but she has been dealing with some injuries, and she did not run the 200 in Tokyo and didn't make it to the final in the 100 meters.
Got to be a tough decision for some of these athletes at the late stages of their career because of the shift in the scheduling. It's an Olympic year followed by a world championship year, followed by another world championship year, and then Paris. So it's like there's something to shoot for each and every year on the next 4 years or your track and field calendar. So they'll get into the blocks here for the women's 200 meters. Certainly the crowd favorite is Felix. Gabby Thomas represents the new generation of half-lappers.
That's right, and you see how calm she looks and poised. The last time she was on this track, 21:61. I'd be feeling very confident to line up in lane 6 here today.
And Olympic medalists have run very well here today. Remember that. There's only one Olympic medalist in the individual event. That's Gabby Thomas.
And look at Dina Asher-Smith, who didn't compete in this event in Tokyo. She's definitely off to the best start, but Gabby Thomas has a strong finish. Will that show up for her today?
That is Jenna Prandini, the former Oregon Duck, trying to hold on. Kambundji on the inside in lane 3 is going to emerge, I think, as the victor as she holds off Gabby Thomas at the end. Wind aided 22:06, but a bit of an upset as Kambundji takes the victory.
That's definitely an upset. She ran very well in Tokyo, and she does have bronze from the World Championships in 2019, but take down this field, including Allison Felix and the Olympic bronze medalist. That's a good day for Mujinga Kambundji of Switzerland.
And out of lane 2, that's a tough lane to run the 200 from, and she just got out really well, came off the turn, and was able to hold it with an impressive field chasing her.
Yeah, anybody, here's Kambundji in 3. Anybody holding off Gabby Thomas late in the race, you know they are running a very good final 100. And at this point, you see Gabby Thomas in the middle of your picture, picking off athletes, but she would not catch Kambundji today. So this is a very high quality field, including Olympians and Olympic medalists, but it's Kambundji's day here today in Eugene.
And Allison Felix next to Kambundji, well back in the pack as Kambundji celebrates the win here in Eugene. Thoughts perhaps to being competitive at the World Championships when it comes to U.S. soil for the first time next summer here.
Dolly, German under-23 champion this year, but she hasn't broken 23 seconds, and that's a tough old lane draw for somebody who is, in many respects, an outsider. Shericka Jackson, the Jamaican 200 champion this year, working on her speed this year. She's better known as a 400-meter runner. She has run 49.83 a couple of years ago. It's her birthday tomorrow, Jackson. Will she give herself an early present? This will be the athlete who might stop it, Jenna Prandini, the US champion, third in Rabat on Friday, to Miller Weibo and Asher-Smith of Great Britain. Dina Asher-Smith,
like a
Jennifer
400-meter
Gallet of France goes in 5.
Through the second half and through the last 50 especially.
Third in the French Championships, Jennifer Gallet. Anna Kiel-Basinska, semi-finals of the World Championships 3 years back. Went out on a heat in this stadium last year. But
like you say,
3 times the Polish champion. Good lane draw for her lane 4. Beth Dobbin, what is in fabulous form, is the 28-year-old, 24-year-old rather, excuse me, UK champion at the beginning of this month.
It went completely to plan. I can indeed. I can remember running nearly that fast, but not quite.
Come back with a vengeance.
Your short sprinter, Jenna Prandini, got out like a rocket, and the strength and the speed endurance of Jackson with that 400-meter speed endurance just clawed her back. It was a wonderful race. The world number 2 against the world number 4. These are 2 of the fastest women in the world over this distance. It was a wonderful race that we hoped. Look at the technique, holding her form
on the inside.
Jackson's not tired. She usually runs 400 meters, but that's a good turn of speed. Look at what she clawed back over the last 60 meters. And I can tell you as a sprinter, you're like, she's coming, she's coming. They will know Shericka Jackson's coming with her 400 meter strength. That was a brilliant race.
Blip in Lausanne last week. She was only third in 22.8.
She doesn't get up.
But birthday tomorrow, what a good time to give herself a big result. That lineup from the inside again. Palferman of South Africa in 1, Huang of China in 2, Dobbin of Great Britain in 3, Kiel-Basinska of Poland in 4, Gallet of France in 5, and Jenna Prandini, US champion, in 6. Jackson in 7 in that yellow vest of Jamaica, Vesoli in 8 for Germany, but Prandini is blasted off and already is past Jackson. Well, she's better known as a 400-meter runner, Shericka Jackson for Jamaica in that yellow. Will she come back here at Prandini? The American being closed down. They're way ahead of the moment. It's going to be very tight. The Jamaican's coming. She's getting closer. She's going to get... She takes it by a meter. Both of them 3-4 meters ahead of the third placer. What a wonderful race. Prandini maybe expended too much energy in the first 50 or 60. She absolutely blasted out of the block. She ran it like a 100 meters around the bend. And I know, Tony, you'll have a view on what she might have done right or done wrong in that one. But Shericka Jackson was hunting her down, wasn't she? She's the bronze medalist from Rio over 400 meters, and she ran it.
The women's 200 meters has quietly evolved into one of the most complex and tactical events in modern sprinting. Raw speed alone is no longer enough. Victory now belongs to athletes who can combine rhythm, composure, flawless curve running, and control under pressure. Two recent races captured that evolution perfectly. One was built on the surgical precision of Mujinga Kambundji against a stacked American and British field in Eugene. The other was a display of power and patience from Shericka Jackson, reinforcing Jamaica's dominance in global sprinting. Together, these races revealed two completely different paths to superiority, two different definitions of control over the half-lap. At the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, the spotlight initially centered on legacy. Allyson Felix returned to Hayward Field, a stadium where she built part of her legendary career. Beside her stood Gabby Thomas, representing the new generation of American sprinting, and Dina Asher-Smith, the 2019 world champion determined to reclaim her status after injuries and setbacks. On paper, the field looked evenly matched. But once the race began, it became something entirely different. Mujinga Kambundji seized control almost instantly. She attacked the curve aggressively, while maintaining compact mechanics and perfect balance. As Asher-Smith opened quickly and Thomas prepared her trademark late surge, Kambundji never allowed the race to descend into chaos. Her transition off the bend was nearly flawless. No wasted movement, no visible tension, and by the time the field entered the straight, the Swiss sprinter had already created the psychological advantage that so often decides elite 200-meter races. This wasn't just speed, it was complete composure under pressure. Shericka Jackson, however, demonstrated a completely different form of dominance. Where Kambundji won through immediate control and technical precision, Jackson dismantled the field with patience and devastating speed endurance. Against athletes like Jenna Prandini, Beth Dobbin, and other elite sprinters, Jackson entered not simply as a favorite, but as the standard of modern 200-meter racing. Prandini exploded out of the blocks, attacking the curve as though it were a 100-meter final. In the opening seconds, it looked as if the American had total control. But Jackson was running a completely different race. Drawing from her 400-meter background, she remained calm. Her stride gradually lengthened. Her cadence stayed relaxed and economical. And as the stagger unwound, the difference in class became impossible to ignore. When they entered the straight, there was no panic from Jackson, no desperate acceleration. Only a smooth, controlled increase in speed that slowly swallowed the entire field. What looked like an even contest halfway through became decisive over the final 80 meters. The contrast between these two races reveals something important. Modern women's 200 meters is no longer just a contest of pure speed. Kambundji won through immediate authority and flawless curve execution. Jackson prevailed through patience and crushing endurance. But both performances confirmed the same truth. The United States and Great Britain can no longer rely on reputation alone in this event. Switzerland is rising through technical precision. Jamaica continues to define the standard of sustained sprint dominance. Today's 200 meters is an art of energy distribution, emotional control, and maintaining maximum efficiency through every phase of the race. In Eugene, Kambundji proved that precision can silence favorites. And Shericka Jackson reminded the world that true power reveals itself when everyone else begins to fade. Different styles, different rhythms, but the same message. The era where dominance was guaranteed by a name or a nation is over. Now superiority in the women's 200 meters must be earned with every single step.